Okay, fellas, we're gonna try and do a little vid here and make a couple fisher sets. I'm coming off the back of an old gravel pit back in here, and you can see we're bordering right up close to a old heath. This is a brook down here, and the meadow along the brook runs between two ponds, a mile or so apart. You can see we're mixed growth, hardwoods, green growth. Pretty big ridge here. We're gonna try it, see what happens. Have to bear with me with this video stuff. I've never done this before, but you can see got a bucket. Looks like kind of a mess there, but believe me, all the fixings are there to get a couple good fisher sets out, and hopefully this will be a good. Okay, fellas, we ventured in here a ways. Still a lot of hardwoods, mixed growth. You can see kind of what I'm looking for here. See how these poles are leaning. Here in Maine, we're only allowed to have 4-inch pole with anything over 5x5. Anything under 5x5, we can set it anywhere we want, but anything over 5x5, we have to have on a pole. Has to be 4 feet off the ground and 4 feet from any trees, any limbs or anything, so it has to be pretty clear. You know, 4 feet off the ground, you can knock them limbs off, possibly use that. That's about 4 inches, about the size of a coffee can, 4 inches, metal coffee can. I could knock them off and use that there. That put that 4 feet off the ground anyway. You know, or if we get any snow or whatnot, I usually go a little higher. You know, 45-degree angle. That's about it. I could probably kick that off that stub and get my 45, no problem. But that was the kind of thing we're looking at. But I'm still a little close to the back of the gravel pit. It's back there a couple 100 yards or better. I'm afraid deer hunters will stumble across it. But we'll keep kicking on down the trail here and see what happens. Just passed a couple old buck scrapes back there. Usually along the bottoms, these ridges along these heaths and all, there's it's good going. Game keep the trails kicked right out good, so we'll keep going back. Okay, fellas, I think I found myself a location. You can see these cages I use. They're just you know, bent wire. Nothing fancy really. I got some old lobster traps. I use a couple of soft steel hog rings. Put them together. I'll put one here, and the same here. I use soft steel hog rings, or you can use stainless, whatever. But I do it this way. Bring them in, and then I can put them together. That way I can stack many together, and a lot of them will fit inside of a 5-gallon bucket, so you can carry many with you, and then a couple soft steel hog rings and you're in business. What I did not bring is, I do have some that once they're together, I have metal tops on them. I've experimented with, you know, so you can open and close it, hook your bait to it, and I'll show you after we get them up here. But my location, again, just the base of a big hardwood ridge. It's kind of a little draw that runs up it, and we kind of, you can see I'm right on the edge of some dark growth. We get into some pretty good dark growth right here. Spring right here runs right in. Nice spring seat, sitting right on that. And you can see we're right at the base of it on this heath, northern side of the ridge, and this is going to be my set location. You can see here, it's just an old, I don't know what the heck it is, popple or whatever, maple. And I'm going to put a 155 on this because I can set it anywhere, anyhow. And I'll get things going, and we'll film a little more and show you a little more of it. Okay, guys. Okay guys, you can see I've put my box together here. This one I forgot my wire cutters, and it wasn't quite cut right, but with a little bit of twisting and bending I get it so it's going to work, and it'll work fine. What'll happen is the critter will go up into it, get that muskrat, and that trap will kick right out right at him, hopefully taking him right behind the noggin or somewhere as near close. But just a couple of hog rings, you can see I hog ringed them together. I prefer soft steel. These are stainless steel. They cut like hell. Ruin cutters fast, dull cutters, so soft steel much better, cut much easier. You can see I just kind of bent it a little bit, just to kind of hold the trap. Believe me, if I fired that trap right now, that would shoot right out of there and get you. Hopefully it does a good job to fish you. So now we got to wire it to a tree and to our location here, and go from there. We're going to use some Fisher Red on this one, and just a new lure a fella sent to me. I got to try out for him, and hopefully it nabbs me a fisher. We're going to use some skunk paste there. That seems to keep skunky smell around for quite a while. And just a little bit of tie wire, tie it to a tree. And cable the trap off. It's a long line clip there I use and you can see just an old long line clip, and cables I make them, and but we'll cable the trap off. We won't want no episodes of coyotes stealing the fisher like happened to me before. So anyway, alright guys, we'll get along a little further on this project and show you some more. Okay guys, got a cage all wide right up to the tree, nice and rugged. Believe me, she ain't going nowhere. We gotta brush her in now. You can see, you can come right up that tree, no problem. I'll show you a better picture when we're all done. But he's wide right up. I usually have wire tops on them, so there ain't no way they can get in the top. Just flops open. I usually put them on with a couple hog rings. I didn't bring them with me. I'm not prepared today, guys, but hey, we're getting them done. That's what counts. I'll show you this stuff I'm using here. I'm going to try. Let's get my hands in the way. It's good looking stuff here. It's old Fisher candy. I mean, not Fisher candy, but Fisher Red. Sorry. A fella sent me this. That stuff. I don't know what's in it. Didn't ask, but it's got kind of a sweet smell to it. And I don't know. We're gonna see if it gets the job done. I can see the hair on the lid there, so it's got some kind of critter in it. Fisher Red is the stuff, guys. But I can smell it. I can smell it. We're going to go upwind of it after we get some out and see how far upwind we can smell it. So, let's see what happens here. Alright, fellas. I'm going to move along a little further and I'll get back. Alright, here we go. I just cutting some balsam fir boughs here and just nipping them with clippers. You can see I'm just kind of sewing them in, up through them. No big deal. Landowners know I'm cutting these. This is part of the deal. I make aware of everything I'm going to be doing on the property, so there's no surprises. And if you just take a few minutes and you go look around, especially along these bogs and things like that, there's always rim racked, fur and stuff by bull moose, which run up and down this thing like crazy. So, if you look a little bit, you can already find some damaged stuff to cut. You don't have to cut off a good tree if you don't want to, but a little pruning. But anyway, nothing difficult. I cut these things and they just sew right up through here like so. Oops, and just stick them right up through. They come right up, and pull them right up in, nice and tight. I get this cable system. I wrapped around the tree. These cables kind of long, just these long line clips. You can just clip them. They get right in there. Oops. Get some boughs now. But you can see they just clip right on there. See? Nice and tight, just like they were made for it. And I just tuck these right back up under these boughs like this. No big deal, but I got cable looped around the tree here. There ain't no way that's going anywhere unless I take the tree with it. I just got the top. We can't have no visible things there from above. So I've already done both sides of it and just kind of weaved some in. Only took me a minute. I mean, a minute to gather them, a minute or two to weave them up in. Nothing real fancy. You can see, and then up here on the top, I just kind of, the way they naturally lay, just fish them right up through like this. They'll lay right down over that box. Hey guys, this is my final touches here. I just use this skunk paste. It's a real skunky paste. Pretty stinky. You can see I took a good gob on the stick here. What I'm going to do is just take a piece of this balsam fir like this, and I'll take this paste and I'll just work it, rub it all over this bough like this. Just like you see, with a stick. Coat that bough, rub it up and down it real good. And I'll take this bough. You can see just a big old clump of brush here. I'll take this bough and I'll stick it right up in the top of it, just like that. Drive it right down in there. And there'll be a lot for the wind to catch and carry that up the ridge. They'll smell that no problem for a long ways away. That's a good loud skunky stuff. We'll get it around here. If we can get down this brush and see if we can see. You can see it's just you can get up here no problem. You see it's quite a cubby. You'll be able to get right up in there. Can't really see the bait up in there, but you can see Mr. Muskrat White up in there, but it is up in there. He is covered in boughs. Nice little hut. Don't forget my safety. But I don't know, guys. We'll see what happens. And thanks for watching, guys. I don't know.